Wow, I didn't think that I was going to be making another video today. I am here though and was asked to please just pull in. I was doing some reflecting and listening to some of the content that I put out, the one video, the book that I read, and listening to that and what I said, and knowing and understanding and having great respect for the follow-on video that came after that, and listening to what I'm hearing in my ear, which is hold back on releasing that because it may not be, as we're evolving through this, what is the most synergistic thing for me to do. And it's not, a bad thing. The video is, there's nothing bad about it, is that as each person has their free will and chooses how to use it or not, if you hand it away, if somebody else decides to play, it might wreck your day. And so I was sitting here just kind of going, what should I do? And the word right there is shut up immediately and listen to the and not me, because the me of me could get all freaked out about tomorrow. Tomorrow is, interestingly enough, April 1st. Yes, no, I'm sorry. It's March 31st. April 1st is, April Fool's Day, Thursday. Last supper. That tomorrow is a critical, seemed like, and it's not critical. I've already cleared and I'm ready to go, and had been listening to someone on YouTube who's very powerful messages to me, speak right to my heart, and started clearing out what I was listening to. Also, as I grow and evolve, then I don't want to be tied to a silver box, for my 911 call center. I also don't want to be needing that device, my comms device, to have to, oopsie, I just lost my eye intelligence to, random, no. So get my comm center pulled in right here that, we used to have to, carry a dime in our pocket or a quarter, and then it was a freebie to zero, and then it was the 911. And as we've evolved, it's been no fun in the places it wasn't any fun. And I'm choosing instead to, as I move away from my silver box on the corner, thing, that, and chuck all the devices and say, I'm it. I'm my divine and I'm my device. And to dishonor that is really, it's not a good place for me to stand. I don't think it works very well for anyone. However, I'm not here to save anyone. I can't be their 911 call center any more than they could be for me. That's why we're here, and that's part of why I'm bringing my message forward, is to demonstrate to me and to other people, if they care to see, that you have the ability to call into your own divinity, and that will answer the call every single time. However, it's not random any more than sometimes when you call 911, depending on where you're located. First of all, there's some places that just doesn't exist. Sorry, it doesn't happen. Not going to happen. And in other places that are, developed and evolved, you might be in one of the most developed places ever, in terms of a major city, and you get a busy signal. Doop, doop, doop. What? And you are in an emergency? Wow. As a former paramedic, man, I learned how to back plan and get that MCI thing under control and make sure that that's prevented anything that could explode and is going to take, back it up, roll it back. Do that after action review and not make it a shame blame session of persecute you. Instead, make it the learning evolution that it's meant to be. That I don't want to be sugar cooking up on a shore with a cadet who doesn't want to do the pot. I want to be part of the team, and I have expectations as a team member and as team leader and team follower, depending on what role I'm in. And I better be able to do my own thing in my own skin if 5 other team members are gone all of a sudden, boom, and we've got whatever mission to launch. And I don't like to go into those areas of warlike battle stuff. I've worn my BDUs plenty of times now, never in a formal uniform for long enough to claim, any war other than my own personal one of, I'm fighting to get out of a wet paper bag again and again and again and again. So how about I just ascend, and just rise up out of that? And how do you do that? Well, you burn to the ground and learn how not to launch stuff off without hearing the sound of, ooh, alarm, alarm, doop, 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 doop. And I pay attention, that I practice, and I don't wait to call 911 and get the, it's busy, please hold. What? I don't have time. I'm in a crisis. And because I discipline myself by listening to that within me, hasn't come easily, comes very easily once I'm willing to let go of my human control, and all my OCD doesn't live in me. That's not who and what I am for realsy. And I will be OCD in a second and micromanaging something the very second that I'm team leader and I need to be responsible for something or whatever. And one of my favorite ladies, and I'll be happy to reference her, she mentioned something about, you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone. And I thought, nah, don't be prophesying something more. I've got a little issue that's a, hanging chad, and it's kind of a biggie, and it's not. I mean, it is, and it is, and it is, and it isn't. And I was battling my own demon of, what am I going to do if? And I thought, I can't even remotely think about come out of my comfort zone. I live outside that. There's no such thing as a comfort zone. I'm, fighting to get into the comfort zone. And, oh yeah, that's right. I pick up my silver box phone. No. Discipline that. And today I had a struggle with my dogs. I have fought like a wild beast to keep my family together. The remains of war, okay, fine. Doesn't matter what the details are, that I live alone and I have animals in my care. They are my family that lives with me right here in physicality. And nobody else has been in my physical world except kind of hopping in and out with, here and there, children. And that's fine. It's all good and divorced and cleared out, and no bother with the details of any of that, because it's a waste of time, and pull it in line to know that I have a dog that doesn't understand her mission brief is that you're not team leader, you're not alpha on this one, and you got to back it down and suddenly become dog whisperer with a very loud voice and not the stick to beat her with. And it wasn't a matter of shame and blame, and it was a matter of, girl, we got business to take care of tomorrow, and I have to be able to get me through that experience without losing my mind. And you doing a pre-brief of what that might look tomorrow through you got to grow some courage and outside that comfort zone. And I started breaking her out of that crate thing where I'm going to run to my crate. And dog trainer or not, I listened to Divinity right on the spot that said, take it out, get rid of it, lose the crate, get it gone, because she needs to understand immediately, along with the masculine dog. I got female and male dog. They're not the same litter. They're not even the same type of dog. And the alpha is female, she can be a real and he can be real, and told both of them, like, look, we're all coming out of our comfort zone. I know you live there because that's where I am, and we've had to make a lot of changes in the last couple of years through a very ugly, nasty little process of elimination, but you were eliminated and you're not in this game anymore there. Okay, well, I can call 911 and get, please hold, and just die and give up, or I can keep answering the call inside of, how do I do this? How do I fix this problem for me? And not worry about how it's going to work for anybody else and how they figure out their Rubik's Cube. That is theirs to do. And I'm not rescuing anybody. Swiftwater Rescue is not my area of ops, and it never would be ever again. And I certainly have respect for my friend, the powerful river that will drown me if I don't know what I'm doing trying to save somebody and I don't know what I'm doing. That's why that little life ring thing gets thrown in and not the whole lifeguard, because you take down both of you in the panic. And so I'm looking at this dog and thinking, okay, I got to go dog whisperer, and said, that's it, we're done. So I'd been moving her away from, you can't go run up into the crate and be in your safe place and all that. I understand all of that and the dog training. We've done that drill. I get it. I know how to power it up into that. And I also understand that Divinity doesn't need to give it a hand. I need to understand my place in that is, you got to bring it up to speed. And I don't have time to get all Cesar Chavez or whatever his name is. Whatever, yeah, the dog whisperer. Sorry, edit that out. I don't have time to go through dog training 101 again for myself to be the better leader. I need you to pull it in tight. And instantly said, yep, lose the crate altogether. Stop weaning off that we're done. There is no comfort zone, not in this house, because it's not ours. It's not where we live anymore. This is just a matter of timing as we get out the door. And drag that crate. And the crate was having its little issue with, I don't want to go out that bedroom door. Bet you're going to go. Bet you're going to go. And keep on working it. And I had to, angle it. And because the crate's been sitting there, in its comfort zone, being exactly what it was, and smelled horrible, looks terrible. Behind it, there's cat hair. All kinds of stuff. It's just, hasn't been vacuumed back there. And I'm just, whatever, ghetto living. Ghetto is defined by me, and it doesn't matter where it is, what the economic status is. If it feels raunchy and yuck, then I'm not in my comfort zone, haven't even remotely gotten close to it. And so when I got that download, get rid of it, get it gone, get her out of there. Because if I need her to all of a sudden find her divine spot of serenity and peace and not go alpha weird and blank out on me, which is what she'll do, she'll either get super aggressive and like, or she'll just go stupid silent with, I can't have either one of those responses. Team alpha, no, you are team nobody, just like me whenever I'm subordinate to energy that is telling me exactly how it shall be if I want to work best with it and not try to do some Swiftwater rescue bullcrap that I'm not qualified for that. And even if I was, thanks, I'm not into that. I tried that rescuing thing. It's a very old paradigm, and it's why we're moving it away. And it's just much easier not to go with the flow of a raging river unless I have fallen in it by mistake, or, oh, help me if I absolutely get sucked out in a tide. And, Daytona Beach, my hometown where I grew up, 3rd generation native, and nope, gotta go, and know how to roll with the tide in and know how to let it drag me out and drown. Thanks anyway. I've had that experience quite a few times, and no, I've learned how to swim just fine. And I also respect when divinity says clear it out. And my messenger today said, yeah, you're going to need to probably come out of your comfort zone. And immediately my comfort zone was threatened with, what? I've been clearing out. What more do you want me to do? Well, just wait a minute. Give it about 3 or 4 hours before Mildred decides to lose her mind and go, ooh, and steal some food off my plate. That just was the end of it. Like, nope. I've been sharing food with you to help get us through a very rocky, difficult time with people who don't want to notice they're divine, and so they're busy trying to micromanage mine. And not to be unkind, let's not do an unkind rewind. Let's just divine, and don't be taking anything off my plate. No, absolutely not. And because it was potentially dangerous, it were little coconut pieces and a little chocolate organic whatever that, to me, that's delightful, because food has been an issue. Used to be 300 pounds. Now I'm not. There was a time when I couldn't keep food down and got scrawny right there on the spot. It was just dying on the floor in a grease stain. And so when I came back in, we had been working on that temptation thing of, you better learn some obedience and discipline immediately. And don't be stealing stuff from the boy who he grew some. Like, you better get a pair and make them happen, because she's going to take all your stuff. And I quit trying to micromanage their food drill. That, oh, yeah, you go ahead and work it out. And if you're hungry, 12 hours later, I guess you figure it out. And if it turns into a biting thing, that's not going to work. However, let nature take its course as it will when it's allowed. And that's going with the tide and letting it drag them out and let them work it out. And I'll be the captain of my own ship who, yeah, I'll let you know there whether you got that square, and you'll know immediately if you're drowning. And I don't rescue, okay? Prevention is way better. However, sometimes things get undivine, and she started snitching stuff and getting kind of weird because energy's moving fast. We're clearing out. We've got a lot to do and a whole baggage lifestyle of 30 years of say goodbye to you, and not to be unkind and disrespectful. Just, I don't have time for your flake and break, you know? I don't even have time for my own. I decompress that stuff the way I'm told to in every meticulous step, no matter what it looks like, because it's what it feels like that I know is right to do. And if it has hysteria brought in right at the beginning, oh, that's not going to win. That's not going to win. And I don't need to conquer anybody's island or their space. It's not that. It's a matter of that's involving myself in a quantum battle that is not going to have anyone come out and win. It just is an entanglement that is a lateral combat spin, and it's not ascending or going anywhere. It's just, it's hitting a glass ceiling that's artificial. And so why not help her and him get their little divine masculine and divine feminine in the right place at the right time? Because I need both of them as team members. You're part of the 6, man. The pack of 6 here. That's what's left. That was what was abandoned and left behind. Yep, and pull it in and be divine, because we're at the very end of this, baby. And if you want to stay with me, it's what I've been fighting for. It's loyal and loyal, loyal, true. And yes, and yes, and yes, I will work hard for you. However, you're not on my team, you're cut instantly. And I was told, you're cut from the team. Alrighty then. I figured it out that my team was the 4-leggeds left behind, and had to figure out a whole lot of divine in a very long time. Well, you can call it however you want. It's a, time drill by human standard. However, pull it in that tomorrow, friend, you have got to be able to go, because if somebody say, yeah, you got to get out right now, I doubt it's going to be, quite that suddenly. However, I've been ready to go, and I don't know if you can quite see, I have my stuff packed and it's ready to go. And there's a tour of my house and all of that, and that altar and everything, the sanctuary, the shrine, the comfort zone of where a lot of stuff happened. It was dismantled and taken apart immediately of, yep, shrine days are over. And I'd been moving it anyway, just because that was what I was told to do, is start moving that back over there. And it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't have that argument, because that's like arguing with lightning. Yeah, you want to stand there playing golf, or you want to, pull it in and have some respect for a Category 5 hurricane coming up on Daytona Beach. I'm going to take notice of that, and I'm going to prepare for a Category 5 like it's 5, and not act like it's a 1, and not act like it's a, 5 if it's not, and have that stuff in the right spot, and don't be prepping for the 1. If 5 is a coming, go ahead and prep for the 5, and then be real, because 3D reality is right here. It is 3D, and it's an illusion right up until you get run over. And unless you can suddenly ascend out of your skin, we're relegated to understanding that energy and that synergistic effect. And every move that a dog makes to steal something off my plate, oh, you're cementing in some bad habit there again and again with allowing that to happen. And it can look barbaric and mean. However, I am very loving and gentle and kind, and we're going to do an abrupt rewind and cancel out entirely and skip it and say, yeah, you are done. You're either on this team or you're not. And you figure it out right on the spot. The next time you think about you're going to take some chocolate, leave behind the, the coconut and what have you, that I worked all day and prepared my meal and everything. And I guess we could say, well, you left. So I did leave myself open, and I want to be able to trust my team. And it wasn't an intentional thing. It's that we were having an ongoing issue with it. And divinity set that up. Thank you for that. That there were a couple times that I left my plate within her reach, and she's never hopped a table or anything like that. However, it's not beyond her, obviously, to snitch right up until today. I'm like, really? Tomorrow is the deciding of, yeah, it's either postponed or whatever. However, it's done. We're done. And you're done if you're not part of the trinergy of what we're really about. We're going to need to move you along, Scout, and go do something else, with where you do belong, because we have to fly it way high and tight. And I need to be able to rely on somebody who's not a cadet and can't figure out the sugar cookie and the entire team as we're making our way through Navy SEAL Hell Week. That's not what I want to be figuring out. My team leader doesn't know what they're doing. Or yes, it is. It's exactly when, not on the actual mission, when, that launch onto nowhere because somebody didn't know what they were doing or didn't feel like it, didn't want to show up for the job, didn't want to be there on time, I don't want to have to follow. Well, I don't have to lead. Oh, well, I guess I better know my role and very well understand that ultimately it's my authority with my free will that I could kill her and instantly. I could shame her. I could do all that. I could try and, manipulate it. And no, the download instantly was, nope, just let her know. We're getting rid of that crate. Good to go. See ya. And it's out by the trash. Don't know if it'll get pulled to the curb tomorrow. I'm not sure. Just know that each step that I take with things like that, I have to consciously know whether it makes sense or not. When it needs to make conscious sense, any conscious thought, it comes forward. It bursts out into my reality of as a known entity to me of, oh yeah, that's what I got to do. And I don't question when I know that and it's confirmed and confirmed and confirmed. I can keep searching. If you got a lighthouse, it's right there and it's saying, yeah, we're the lighthouse right here. Do I want to go and investigate some teeny tiny, what might be a little, flashlight that the battery's wavering, and it's going to give out? Or do I want to know that, yeah, my beacon of light is my beacon of light, and I'll do that from right in here, which helps me get her where she needs to be. With you staying with me, you got to pull it in, cadet. We're not in training anymore. This is the real thing. Launching on shore with you not being clear about what you're about. We got to work it out, scout, and get out if you don't want to be here. And if you do, then I'm not a dog whisperer. I'm an energy reader and an energy mover and a channeler of knowledge, which is energy, and moving that frequency. And Baba Jolie, guided messages, guided tarot, I'll make sure I cite her. You were absolutely bang on target. And even though I didn't want to hear it, a little part of me went, oh, I don't know. I don't think I can. And then instantly was, yeah, you're going to do that lighthouse thing, or you're going to be searching for some fool with a battery operated something that you hope is, maybe gonna. And this fool right here, she not even willing to pull her, little light stick out and, nothing. You got to be more resourceful, Mildred, and you can't take Henry down with him. Henry's been growing his knowing and his, testicular region, and he's balancing himself. And when he gets a little weird and can help him out with, nah, we don't do that either. Aggressive, just right off the top, no. And mushy, scared, and seeking the most comfortable spot right away, nah, I'm afraid that's not how we play, because I need to be able to roll out of here with my team. Kitties in a bag and dogs on a leash. And I don't have time for somebody to lose their mind and forget what's divine, including me, especially me. Because how am I going to go to war, if I want to use that analogy, and I'm looking to, let's get out of combat altogether, because quantum combat is no fun. However, if I'm going and I'm the ultimate commander, then don't I want my weakest link to be reinforced and fortified and not hazed and grazed and sacrificed to pomposity or whatever it is? Doesn't matter, mine or anyone else's. I'm not allowed any ego stance any more than anyone else. If I care to actually not fry and die right there, I care about the mission. What is it? Let's get it done. And we can have our personality conflict later, man. We don't have time for anybody to launch weird. And in EMS, I worked with a bunch of dudes that I didn't like, a couple of ladies, I didn't like them. It didn't matter. We work a scene, and you do your job. And when I was subordinate, just the tech. I learned in a minute that that's a pretty good spot to be in when you don't know what the hell you're doing, especially. And bravadoing in, you fall into a bush to make a jackass out of yourself a couple of times. And I learned, don't be too bold and proud to announce very loud that I don't know what I'm doing. And also balance that with, don't lead with, I don't know what I'm doing. You got to walk with the confidence of, I'm trained to do this and I don't really know how that's going to go. However, I have the protocol, and it's setting in. And in EMS, you practice pre-hospital, emergency, whatever it is, you practice your disaster drill. And I'm moving away from the disaster drill experience. Thanks for doing that. And the disaster relief. Yeah, I'm not here to, pick up all the leftover hurricane remnants of category 265, while I was playing dominoes or something back there badly. Quantum battle, it's brutal and it's no fun. And it's a lot more fun to bring her to the place where everybody is chilled. The old guy and they are chilled out, and all day, today, yesterday, and the day before, they were like, just nervous twits. Like, you are going to ache and break my butt and make me hate you hard. Please don't test my humanity so much. I cannot bring it forward and get us out of here because I care more about the mission. I cared more about a patient than I cared about my humility, dignity, etc. Falling into a bush, that was pick your grand, glorious butt up out of that bush and get back to that stretcher where you belong. And over 250 pounds at that time, and didn't really enjoy being laughed at. However, I understood very clearly that, a firefighter can be doing their job and laughing. I can't. I just fell into a bush. I need to get the message and pull it in tight there, because you ain't flying it right. You ain't even going to be all right when you flying it not high and tight. You flying it like that, fall into a bush, just walking and not paying attention. However, clear enough that, this is a patient and they're on the stretcher. They need for me to be doing my part. Otherwise, somebody else got to take their mind off their task and their job. It's not firefighter's job to do my job. It's not my job to go run into the building and, put out the fire. I need to know my job, my role, my title, and then not get hung up anywhere when I need to be MacGyver. Because if I need to be MacGyver and I don't have any skill, and I'm not practiced in my MCI drill, my life is going to be nothing but survivor. And one of those times, I'm going to just crash and burn. And I've had way too many experiences of painfully burning to the crisp, to the ground, to do that any longer. And it's not about pride or indignity and how dare you. It's about, I'm coming up to 53. How much more of my body would I like to give away of me and not have all the fun that I'd like to be having, and allow a dog to make her decision that you are either good to go and you can go trident your butt right where you need to and not go trophy kill weird, or you can't. And it's no shame. It's just, if you're going to roll out, just claim it, own it, and do that or get out. You don't get to ride the fence. There is no place at this location. My home, my biosphere, it is heavily protected and fortified. However, we're all expected as the team members within that little bubble. I expect every one of those 5 critters beneath me. They teach me all the time, and sometimes they need the kind remind and not the brutal rewind. Skip that, and yet be very much in a flash of absolutely not will you steal and thieve from team leader. Nope, that was bad decision. That I'm going to go hungry and give you food out of my world into yours to sustain you and keep you here. That is disrespect and dishonor that I can't clear for takeoff. That's going to explode off the pad, and no, you got to go. And that old paradigm, shut it down. And Baba Jolie, God bless you, spirit, divinity, however it is that you recall that for you and claim it. Thank you, because it sparked in me the pre-brief of, get ready for whenever divinity says, your comfort zone it wasn't yours exactly, except that it was. I always knew she had a safe place to go, and you got to be able to load and go into a bus, a car, a spaceship, whatever it is that we get into right on the spot, because I'm already knowing it's something that's out of my hands. I don't have control of it. When I did, it was taken away, and okay, then it's not mine. And every day that I stay and play, I'm wasting time with my butt in a bush and missing everything else that I really would rather be doing that's a whole lot more fun. So I'm looking forward to water skiing and snow skiing and being outside and active and using my body in a bunch of different ways besides falling into a bush, making a jerk out of myself, and, needing to bring forth my masculinity in a divine body that's feminine. And because of my title and my role, and don't talk to me like that, with ego struggles. And they're real. They're very, very huge when they're huge. And I learned how to be humble and say, yeah, I'm just the tech, man. I learned very quickly, just the tech. And the tech has an incredibly, paramedic or not, man, I was a paramedic and had the same national registry standard as every other paramedic I worked with. And I was bush league back there, falling into a bush every time. Twice, I think it happened. Twice. With the same people in the same fire department. Totally different shifts. I was a random floater, and you gotta be kidding me, that ego struggle, and how dare you. And two different partners that I was working with, we were a private ambulance, and fire department, same people, and they crossed over, some of them. And one dude, man, he just chumped my butt all the time. Like, what is your problem? Well, the paramedic, don't talk to me like that. And like, yeah, well, when you're in firefighting mode, you're over there as a basic EMT, dude, because you can't act as the PE medic if you are in the FF department. You're firefighting, and you're not going to come ask me to go charge a line and do your job. Then back off. This is my patient, and I'll tell you how this is going to go. And this is what I need you to know, is that this is how it's got to go. And do I have team leader on this, or you taking over? Because if you're taking over, then you're out of your league, you're out of your spot, and it's going to be called out by somebody besides me, because I don't hold that divinity of justice, etc. Is that you don't have the jump bag. You could have a garden hose, you can have a fire hose, you can have whatever. However, if that person needs a line and you start it instead of me, that's called illegal. Doesn't matter if you're qualified on paper. National Registry said we're both qualified, and I will get fried if I tried to do your job. So how about you go do your job as that in this role where you are, and let's take that battle thing out of control. That, yeah, let me just let you go on ahead. And I took a bush right in the head twice. Same crew of fire department, and two different, where I was tech, the senior medic, two different senior medics, and I was tech, two different people, very different energies. And I learned a great deal about humility and how to come forward and bring the best out of me by learning through something besides brutality. Because learning it that way and public humiliation and all that, I've tried it, I've done it, I've spit it out, I've received it back. In quantum battle, that's more than a spat. That's more than anything I ever want to do again. And shaming and blaming and all that other stuff, it's an ego trip, and it needs its moment to, be voiced and heard. And that's for me to do here, and not out loud or find my ass face in a cloud whenever, the rest of all of humanity is not watching me. However, a few isolated people are going, yeah, that's funny. And in that moment, it was very clear to me. That was 25 years ago. And it was very clear to me of, oh yeah, you better learn. Doesn't matter what you know. First of all, you the tech, and there's a patient on the stretcher. You want to argue it out with, how dare you disrespect me? I wear the same. Nope, I sure don't. And going to turn right around and return the favor. I didn't return the favor to him. I didn't humiliate him on the scene. I simply said, this is, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea he worked for the same company that I did in his private job that he did as a sideline. And you're a paramedic, that's wonderful. However, you're firefighter EMTB and mean nothing to me, except you are the tech to me when it's my call and I'm the medic. And he got a case of it hard with me about, after the fact. Like, I saw him, at the ambulance, and he cornered me somewhere shortly thereafter. Of course, quantum battle worked it out just fine. Here you go, Katie, want to look at that? No, never again, thanks. Don't talk to me like that. Like, what is your problem, man? I don't have any problem respecting fire department. Y'all have your job, and you obviously have a problem respecting me. I have my job, and I asked you to back off kindly, because you're not going to start a line. I'm a paramedic just like you are. cool. And if you're going to start a line with that hose, we'll be fine. However, could you hand me a 16 gauge and zip it, because that's not where we are. That's not what we're doing. And this isn't a scene where you're in charge. And be subordinate and not know your place, or be subordinate when you really need to be winning the race. Yeah, that's been a real battle of balancing, and debuting my show and falling into a bush. Welcome to the land of EMS. And the great equalizer is bring anything you want with you besides your ego and your entitlement to anything. I earned my way to National Registry status, etc. And I also had to earn my way into some respect, because my latitude and gratitude for where I'd been and everything, it was all great. However, if it displayed out here with macho, pride, etc., of I don't have that experience. So he was handy, and he was quite an educator. However, I can't say that I liked combat education very much. Thanks. So quantum combat back and forth, that's just stale energy that's going to continue to do that and feast and parasitically not drive me where I wish to be. So how about I hop out of that and into my divinity? 36 minutes, man. And my shoulder, thank you very much. Yep, let that go. Release it and let it go. Whatever it is going and it's gone. And medication, see ya, don't need that anymore for pain and all this other stuff. That the more and more clear that I get within me, the less and less I need to question divinity or question what is in my ear for me to hear. It's mine, and it's being given directly to me, as long as I don't have somebody else's earpiece in it, somebody else's mouth telling me, remote control or not, directly in my face. And quantum field will let me know and reverberate and reflect back to me, how is the flow? And if I don't want to get sucked out into the Atlantic Ocean to an unknown destination at the wherever, then I better respect and perhaps adhere to the warning signs of, there's a red flag that's flying and there's a hurricane coming. You probably don't want to go surfing then. Or if you go surfing, don't expect that they're not coming to rescue you. They don't do that. They're taking shelter and cover and preparing for the aftermath, not rescuing people who want to dare the odds. And may the odds never be in your favor. It's kind of the way that's set up, that the odds aren't ever in your favor. If you're defying Mother Nature and you're getting away with it, you're just kind of waiting until the next spin of the wheel. And I don't like to do that Wheel of Fortune thing like that. That's a game show with Vanna whatever, and that's old and gotta go. That's a silver box of nope. And the comms device, thanks. I think I'll listen to me. This is those red flags, those warning things, and then train heavily all day, every day, listening very intuitively and paying attention to Hawk giving messages to me, and dog needing some instant remedial. I don't do in-school suspension bull stuff. Know what I mean? Mildred, pull it in, get lean green immediately. And if not, okay, just claim it. And we got eyeball to eyeball. And somebody wants to talk to me about, it's fine, because I let her know, stop panicking, stop trying to burst through the window, on the outside, bust through the glass. It's going to be a problem when you got glass in your house, and I don't have time for you to lose your mind, break the window of the house that we're clearing. And it needs to be just like that. I don't have time for you to lose your mind, and you got to be able to snap it up and get on a leash and get in a car or a bus or whatever it is, not rescue. There's no ambulance coming for me. There is no rescue for me. I didn't call for rescue to come get me. I called for, hey, I'm team leader on this one, and I'm team follower all the time. However, how about I go with divine and let me know which one of those I got to go? Am I doing firefighter who's EMTB and is PO'd and wants to get into an ego thing? Or am I doing yeah, EMTP is I'll be working over here and doing my thing and not asking you to do my job. And how about you don't ask me to do yours? And then we're both in that spot where we're most qualified. And I'm not asking myself to defy the odds and, hope that they're in my favor. I'm going to go ahead and work with the odds and not try to defy the ones that are quite obviously there. And then I'll refine my skill and my plan, my disaster preparedness, and then probably not live in places and do things in such a manner that I'll learn from that after action review instead of burn. And learning through burning, that's Phoenix rising. And how many times do I physically have left to do that? Near-death experience is enough. I've had enough. And it was 8 years ago this year, Easter time, that I went down 4.5 months in a hospital, gave my belly button. That's the last thing I'm sacrificing of that. Thank you. So lateral combat, you're playing with quantum atom splitting in a way that Einstein already told us. And he was quite the empath, quite the psychic, quite observant of nature and its quantum reality as it was unfolding to him in his brilliance. And it was being given to him, not because he didn't question authority or say, he didn't buck against it. What he said was, we've noticed this. We've found this ability. We've created that. How would you like to use it? And we went splat right after that. So as far as I'm concerned, so I'm not here to earn my learn through a burn anymore. The skin was burned right down to the crisp and all gone, and resurrect as something better, or keep wondering, why am I in so much pain? Because tide is sucking you out. You can go on ahead and go with it. And if you're from out of town, you're a tourist and you don't know about beach ops and stuff, and you're fighting against a riptide, that's not going to be on your side. And the odds are never in your favor. So, and then look at a lifeguard like, come get me. We'll retrieve your body when you're done playing the odds badly. So rather than fight the odds anymore that are always in my favor, if I'm in that divine space of willing to know which one am I in, as far as which one do I lead with, I'm listening to the very silent of Tai Tai, who is letting me know, yeah, he's getting a little bit closer and going, that, yeah, there he is. Like, yeah, there's my appearance. And I look pathetic and I look terrible. And he's got a mighty, ferocious roar. And I listen to that because his days are numbered just like everybody else, and kidney failure and yeah. And I got stuff to do with Panicky Dog 1 and 2, and he's my priority right now that I've taken care of my priority within me, which is to answer the call of divinity that said, hey, just start rolling. And I didn't know. I have no idea, except that I was feeling kind of panicky with, well, tomorrow's nothing except a Wednesday, March 31st of 2021. So what? And this time 8 years ago, I was on a ventilator, so I believe I will skip the whole tomb experience, the whole crucifixion, all of it, and skip all of the, I don't need to be up on a cross and please forgive them for they know not what they do. We're all blind, falling in a bush somewhere, making fun of it. And I tried that. It didn't feel good. And so I stopped. And so, divine justice works itself out, and Tai Tai still needs to be fed. Millie and Henry both need to know that they're safe and okay, and my little albino kitty cannot go squash spiders because I'm not looking, and my little black and white tuxedo dude can't be beating up everybody else when he feels anxiety. So we're all moving our divinity through whatever little body experience we brought in here. We didn't bring our body into it. We brought our divinity into a body. However it dropped in, fur, 4 legs, 2 legs, bug eyes or not, here you are on the spot. Which way is it going to go? And team pulled together. And before I go, where is it? Yep, there it is. The card that I'm like, I'm raging, man. I'm done. So can I pull a card? And that's the card, which is Coherence 13. Won't bother to read it. Be happy to cite this deck. It's a beautiful deck. Absolutely gorgeous. Activation all over the place. After I got, with Mildred, and she looked like she was going to pee her I don't have any pants on, and I've got no safe place to go. But you got to rely on me, baby. You don't have a choice. I'm it, because I just took your safety net and threw it out in the trash. What you going to do? You going to go team leader on this one when you don't know what you're doing? You're going to fall into that bush and learn the lesson and let a patient not die. Fortunately, that patient wasn't dying. Pretty sure that quantum battle set that up for me, that I wasn't sitting there with a patient that was literally dying. However, don't think that it didn't cross my mind immediately of your butt be up, baby, and in the wrong place. And that's not where your face needs to be. It needs to be steering your end of the stretcher, which is not anywhere at the bottom of that bush, exploring the roots of, ooh, why did I do that? Take the cohesive understanding of coherence and team playa, not playa. That's not nice. I don't like quantum hockey. It's fire and ice. And doing combat with that, can we please find the divine balance and pull this together and harmonize? Yes, we can. And so Tai, my friend, and my albino baby, Lasagna Kitty, Mommy Kitty, and Mildred, Henry, and Evinrude, like the boat motor. Yep, we're all good. We're fine. Number 6, it's divine, and there's 6 of us, and we are fine. Thank you, Divinity. I'm going to go watch Last Man Standing now, because I'm just really enjoying that show, and enjoy that, yep, that shoulder pain still hurts, and it's got to just do whatever it's got to do to keep on draining out of me into the soil and alchemize it away from me with divinity as it is given to me. So thank you again, and I look forward to the next time that I'm spoken to and brought it forth to you. Have a good experience of whatever it is that you do. And reminder for Kate, and it can feel like I'm way behind if I'm busy listening to all of the, that's not divine, that's, and keep practicing and understand that I'm going to fall into a bush, sometimes not even remotely related to my ego, because I tripped, because I whatever. Stuff happens. Got to be able to roll with tide and go improv, and I don't improv bougie Barbie night anywhere unless it's designated by me and I agree to be in bougie Barbie night, and I don't do my life like that anymore. I don't do EMS and MCI, forget it, I'm over it. So thank you very much, and well, there we go with what I need to know. Blessings.